Hello. Dropping things already. Gonna let some of you join in for this morning's art class. Hopefully I fixed whatever technical problems I have, little bugs. And we must be live because I see a couple people signing in. So good. We got it today. I'm in a different location. Must look like I live in a mansion. I don't. So welcome to art class. It's our Friday. We made it through all week. Can you believe it? Went like that. So welcome to art with me, Deborah, from the Center for Enhancing Abilities, the Bergen Center. But all center members are welcome. Okay, I know we've been getting regularly people from Bergen, people from the Morris Center. I'm waiting for you people from Middlesex. I hope you guys come on soon. So, how's everybody doing? Chime in. Let me know how things are going. I apologize if I miss you, so if you've chimed in, you didn't hear me say hello, chime in again. Because sometimes I don't see everything. I don't know why. Maybe I miss it when I'm working or what. Today's mug, it's kind of themed. It's yarn. Even though we're not working with yarn today. We were working with yarn yesterday afternoon. So we're going to give a couple more people the early birds. This is the early bird time. 10:30. All right. I think maybe my friend Adam, aka Jeter, is watching. I hope somebody from his tribe is. Somebody from his household is watching. So welcome. My lighting might be a little weird. Alex, all right. Alex B, welcome. I know you've been a faithful follower. Jamie is here. Excellent. Who else do I got? Chime in. Hey, I posted it. You love both my cats. I have four. I have 3 cats. And it's funny that you mentioned it. One of the cats, the little black cat, her name is Gertie, and she was a feral cat. She was a stray that was found at the Bergen Center. So nobody wanted to, I think Katie is chiming in, nobody wanted to take her. So a very expensive vet appointment to tell me I have a healthy cat, and now she's with me. And it's been 2 years, I think. So I have 3 cats. I have a white cat, if you saw the white cat with a little brown spot and a dark tail. I have a very fluffy brown cat, and that's Aggie or Agatha, and Gertie. Gertie's the little black cat. So you might have seen them all. And you might have seen Harry. So welcome. We've got a nice little group going, and I can make some announcements. I'm a little chilly. I'm in my basement. I'm in my craft room. And those of you who are questioning my decorating choices for painting a room this color red, you're right. It was a bad choice. It was a very bad choice when I first moved into the house, and it looked terrible. It looked like a murder scene. But you know what? We just kept painting over it. I was too cheap to buy other paint, and it's just the way it is. I've learned to just deal with it. So you are checking out my craft room. If you have any questions about my craft room, please ask. This is, and hopefully we got a good connection, so that's good. Yesterday, I apologize. I don't know what happened. I was freaking out. So I've got a lot of things in here. So lots of supplies, lots of painting and stuff like that. So while we're waiting for a couple more people to jump on, if we're going to get them, I'm going to tell you what supplies you have so you can go and run and get them. So what supplies you need. These should be things you probably have in the house. Once again, we're keeping with that theme. So you want paper. Any kind of paper will do. Printer paper. You could use any kind of paper. Doesn't matter. Any size. You could use a notebook. It doesn't matter. Sorry, technical difficulties. So paper. We will be working with colored pencils. Yeah, you could tell. They're like prunes. Getting old is hard. So colored pencils. You can use watercolor pencils if you want. And that may be something you might want to experiment with later or another time, but regular colored pencils are fine. You could use crayon, but I'm steering you away from crayon right now today. All right? There's a reason, because we're going to be working with a water-based paint, and I think that might give us a hard time if we use the crayon. So colored pencils, you could use magic markers. I got some markers. I got markers too, so you can use magic markers because we're not working with watercolors. You can work with watercolors. If you're working with watercolors, then I recommend don't use markers because we're just going to use a little bit of paint. Or you could use a lot, doesn't matter. I want you to see if you can scrounge your house for a regular pencil, just a regular pencil, okay? And an eraser. You're going to need an eraser, okay? Whether it's on the end or you got your own eraser, okay? So we had our paper, colored pencils if you got them, or anything. It's okay. And if you use crayons, it's all right. Do not panic. You can use markers, colored pencils, what have you. You're going to need some type of paintbrush. I got a lot of brushes. And they're all really healthy, so no brush abuse. You want, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use more of a fine. Wow. Maybe you can see it against the red. Because I'm going to be working in a thin line, but it doesn't really matter. It's whatever you feel in the mood for. My mug said, just pour my coffee, hand me my yarn, and back away slowly. Thank you, Lion Brand. Alrighty. You're also going to need maybe some water. Clean your brush. If you're going to be using a different kind of colors. And paints. So I realize that maybe not everybody has a paint supply like I do. I don't know if you can see it. I got a lot of paint. And that's just my craft paints. So you can use an acrylic. You could use acrylic paints if you like. You can use watercolors, but if you do use watercolors, I recommend staying away from markers. You can use craft paints. You can use, sometimes you get those little kits, whatever, doesn't matter, okay? Whatever paint you can grab. And you want to use either black, I think I said in my notes black, or you can use a brown. And if, I didn't say this because I didn't have a lot of space in my message, and if you're asking where's Simon, he's sleeping. So you can also use greens. We've got some greens for an extra. I didn't say that, so don't be mad at me. And you can use a brush, or you can also, if you've got Q-tips handy for the last part of the project, that would go more for our greens. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary for the main part of the project. Alrighty? So paper, colored pencils, a regular pencil, a brush, some water, and some black or brown paint, whatever your preference is. So are you ready to unveil our project? I've given you a lot of projects this week. So these projects, if you haven't finished them from the video, you can keep going throughout the week and into next week. So if you didn't finish your puppet, I think next week we're going to try to bring something in. We just said, where is Simon? I yelled at him a number of times. And he was still in bed. He's supposed to be doing his schoolwork. I'm actually late with one of my homework assignments. Because I do take classes at night. And my shame. So I can't really yell at him, I guess. But do your homework, everybody, or you'll miss art class. So he'll maybe drift down. He probably doesn't know where I'm hiding because I'm in my craft room. Okay? And there's other crafts. Maybe I'll give you a little tour in a little bit. There's other things around here. So let's begin the unveiling. We are going to do a spring project. I'm very good at building up drama, right? And then you're going to be so disappointed. So it is a spring project. It's a drawing and painting project. Very simple, nice short project for us really to work on and finish out our week and give you a little something to do over the weekend. So it's going to be a spring. I think it's inspired by Easter. If you don't celebrate Easter, you still can do it. It doesn't matter because it's not super Eastery. But we are going to do... we're going to do a spring tree. So let me bring that in. Looks kind of like a glass of wine for some of you wine enthusiasts, right? That's kind of the shape, right, of the tree branches, right? There's the stem. You could do this on a wine glass. I bet that would be a cool project. I do. I have many in my craft room. So it's this kind of shape. It's like a cup. Don't touch my phone. Okay, here's Gertie. For those of you, too much information, oversharing. So Gertie is the cat that was found at the Bergen Center. And I don't know why she's here. So I'll get rid of her in a second. So we are, so you didn't get Simon, but you got Gertie. You got Gertie. And if cats scare you, don't worry, she's harmless. And, you know, if you're allergic, this is the one way you can deal with cats. Sadly, I'm not allergic, and hence I just keep getting more and more cats. So, thank you. So, this is the shape. Now, it also looks like, dude, that's paint, girl. It also looks like something else, and that's the shape we're going to be working with. It has another shape to it. So, this is our project. I don't know if I should, well, I'll hold it up from time to time. So get your paper, and I'm going to be working with 2 different pieces of paper because I'm going to show you the basic shape. And while you're thinking about, Deborah, what on earth was that shape that you were talking about? I see the wine glass that makes our tree, but what was this other shape you speak of? I said it was like a spring kind of Eastery shape. Now, we're working with multiple shapes here. We are working with circles, as you can see. So everybody here can do a circle. And if you're not good and you're a little timid about doing circles, you can get a water bottle cap, which I didn't have. You can get a water bottle cap. You can get any shape. You can use maybe your paint. Cat hair. Anything like that, and you can trace them if you're really a stickler for shapes. This is like a free form, so I don't mind if you make your own circles. It's actually good. That's a good fine motor task to do. It's good. It's good movement. It's good movement, and art is all about movement, believe it or not. So we've got circles within our shape, right? But we've got this kind of cup shape at the bottom. But if you look really close, it's very subtle, and you can make it not so subtle. It's got a shape here, right? It's got a shape. If you start to see, if you put all the circles together, if you looked at them as a whole, you might start to see a particular shape, okay? And maybe you can chime in. You can see that shape. I gave you a hint. Let me see if I can get you another hint. Because we're in my craft room. And I've got a lot of crafts. What could the shape be? What could the shape be? Now, some of you notice I have lots of shapes on my shirt. It was intentional. It was intentional. We are going to work within an egg shape. I don't know, it's like an ellipsis, right? But fancy words. Like an oval, but an egg. So if anybody knows what the proper name of that is, it's popping out of my head. It's wider on the bottom and it's more narrow on the top. A nice curved shape, okay? So I'm going to show you what it looks like in a marker, and we're going to get going on our shape. So what I'm going to do is because I'm a little worried that I'm going to make a mistake. So you are going to work, and this is not a perfect egg, so please don't judge me. Don't judge. This is the shape you're going to be making, okay? Like an egg, all right? Yeah, I get it. It's not that great. So it's wider on the bottom like an egg, okay, on the top. So you're going to take, I used a Sharpie so you can see it. You are going to take your pencil, and what I recommend, yes, an Easter egg, Hannah got it. It is an Easter egg shape. Hence, it's a spring Easter craft. If you don't celebrate Easter, it's cool. It's cool. You can call it something else, a spring egg. It doesn't matter. They're throughout culture. It's just a vision. And if you don't want to do an egg and you want to do like a round tree, you totally can. If you want to work with circles and circles and circles, that's fine. You want to make a square? You're the artist. It's cool with me. I'm not going to yell at you. I hardly doubt that's true, Michelle, but thank you for the right words. You were going to say a Fabergé egg. You have expensive tastes, girl. Fabergé eggs are beautiful. Were they didn't the czars of Russia have these eggs or something, Fabergé eggs? I don't know. I watch too much TV. So, with your pencil, hey Ruth, what's going on, girl? With your pencil, you're going to make an egg shape. Now, you're not going to fill the whole page because you want to leave room for your trunk of your tree, okay? So some of you coming in late, we are working on a spring, Easter-ish spring painting, okay? And bring it in closer. My cat is touching my easel, okay? So we're going to be working in making the basic egg shape. You want to leave some space on the bottom. This is kind of big. You could do it small, but you don't want it too small. You're going to use your pencil. It's weird. I'm hearing cabinets opening. Some of you know some stories about my house. This would not work because that's a broken pencil. My cat scratching my chair in my craft room. You are going to very lightly trace an egg. So give yourself probably about a good hand. See, I have that, so maybe about here. Thank you. Somebody liked the project, okay? So maybe make a line, and you're gonna go light. See how light I am? Because we're gonna take this off. We're gonna erase this, and maybe up to the top. So I did a little line at the top and a little line at the bottom to make sure I won't go too far below and I won't go too far above, okay? That's how we're doing it. So I'm going to start to make like a little bit of a pointy circle. See, he's got a little bit of a point. He's got a little bit of a point there. Yeah, just a little bit. He's kind of short. You know, he's kind of like me, shaped like an egg. And then I'm going to start by making a bottom of a circle here. So see, and it doesn't matter if it's perfect. That's okay, because you're not actually going to be painting the line of this. You're not going to be drawing a line. This is going to disappear. It's going to be the circles that stay. The circles are going to imply the shape, okay? So working very lightly with your sketch, I just want you to make some type of egg. Boy, my guy's a little lopsided. This is a good time to maybe pull your artistic tendencies in. This looks, I don't know, this looks like an ostrich egg. Okay? Maybe get rid of some extra lines that you don't think you need, but just get a general shape. Very soft, very soft. So that's the shape I'm going to work with. This is my containment egg. This is going to be where I'm going to draw all my little circles in. Okay? All right. They do. Nicholas II would have an egg commissioned, one for his mom, the Dowager Empress Maria. Yeah. So I thought that was it. I thought that they were big fans of the Fabergé eggs. Didn't have a great finish there for some of them. If you know your history, your Russian history. Russian history is very interesting. If you find history interesting, you may not. So I made an outline of an egg. Outline of an egg. Ta-da! So your next step that you're going to do is really the fun part. The fun part. You are going to, and make sure you shout out if you have any questions about this craft. I'm sorry, my freezer. I have a freezer here. I think Kara jumped on. If you have any questions about this craft or the materials, please make sure you ask them. I can see your questions. I'm a little bit further, so I can't touch them and scroll them so much. But, please feel free. So this is the craft. It's me, Deborah, from CA Bergen, working on a spring craft. Just reminding our latecomers, you need paper, a regular pencil, colored pencils, and paint and a paintbrush. So we're going to be working with brown or black. I'm going to work with black, and if you want, you can add a couple of extra colors too at the bottom. So we've done our first step using our pencil, working very lightly. We left space on the bottom, about a hand, maybe about a couple of inches on top. Okay. I do find interesting history. So Caitlin says she finds it interesting and informative. It's good. It's good for your brain. It's good for your brain. Romanovs are a very fascinating story. So we've got our egg. Your pencil should be light. A lot of people have a hard time with that. When we talk about sketching and drawing, everybody thinks like somehow you're supposed to make this perfect line or shape or the drawing as hard as you can. That's pencil abuse and paper abuse. Be soft and gentle, because a lot of times if you notice sketchers and artists, not sketchers the shoes, sketchers the artists, which I guess you could say about shoe designers, but we're talking about drawing. You're going to do light. You're going to do light because you're going to be constantly fidgeting with it. So if you go too dark, that line is going to stay there. So light, it gets some help. It's a good sensory proprioception type of thing. If you need, get a towel, a sponge, a book that you can rest your hand to almost pull your hand away from the paper. Those are some good ideas. So light, gentle, like your pencil is just kissing the paper. That's it. Just, all right. Now, we've got our shape. Now, the fun part, as I said, we are going to make little circles, some big circles, some little circles, all different shaped circles. So you're going to get your pencils. You can use any color palette. I'm not coming to your house to yell at you or tell you you're doing it wrong. Not at all. It's up to you on what colors you're going to do. But I'm going to work probably with just what I have. This is my smaller colored pencil collection. I don't see any others. I'm going to try to work more in a bright or like a soft color palette, a pastel color palette. When I think spring, that's what I think of. I don't think of like dark colors, rusts. When we mean earthy, we mean more of like the light and happy colors, the airy colors. So I'm going to use all different colors, and I really recommend that. I think it looks cooler when you mix a lot of colors across the color wheel, but I'm going to use more of pastel colors, and I'm lucky because that's what I've got. So what you're going to do is I'm going to take a darker color so you can see it. All right. So what I'm going to do is somewhere within my egg, let me do it this way. This is why I need Simon. Sleeping. Kids today. Okay, I had to walk 10 miles uphill both ways to school. So what you're going to do is anywhere in there, all right, you're going to make a circle. So I'm going to make kind of a medium circle. And as we said, you can trace them from water or Snapple caps, anything you've got, anything that's a round shape if you're really fanatical about if you're really, a stickler for your shape. To me, it's okay. If you want to make them more egg-shaped, go ahead. So we're going to make a shape, a circle, in our egg and make it like a yolk. And I'm just going to color it in, all right? So you can go in if you like and do all your circles first and come back and color them in. But see how I did that? He's very lonely, the one little guy, all right? So you're going to just color it in, okay? All right, you can make more. You can maybe work on making different shapes, okay? And I want you to put them like wherever. See how I have it? I have one little one, a medium one, maybe he's bigger, and sort of kind of small, right? So maybe start, when I do this, I usually do about 3 at a time. Three, you could do 4, maybe I'll do 5, but do a few when you're working. So see how I have that? It looks like a little petri dish. All right? So okay? So maybe start with 3 in one color. Then I want you to pick another color, any color, any color. Pick something different on the other end, something that goes. And I want you to do the same thing. And I want you to mix up. So I did about 4, I think. I want you to mix up sizes too, okay? If you want all your circles to be the same size, you can. This is your egg tree, so you can do whatever you want. I like the differences in sizes, okay? Now, our first ones especially, they have a lot of room in our tree. So I'm going to color them in so you can see them. All right. And if you're working with watercolor pencils, if you're one of those lucky people that have them, I recommend coloring in everything, then using a little bit of watercolor to soften them up before you do your final trunk painting. So see how I have that now? It doesn't look like the shape of the egg because, other than what I penciled in. This is where you're going to start, this is where you're going to start to fill in everything, okay? And as you're filling in this space, you want to have some that go right up or over the edge. So I'm going to show you that next. So let's see, let's do green. So I'm going to get one right over. Gonna get one inside. I'm gonna get one over there. There we go. So I'm now, see how I'm doing that? I'm having a few starting to go close to what our general shape of the egg is, okay? What might help you, not saying no, you did a bad job, that's not what I mean, is if you notice you have pencil mark going through your green or your colored circle, maybe go in before you color it and just erase some of those pencil lines. That's what I did, because we don't want to see those pencil lines. And that way you don't mess up your colored pencil color that you're going to add. But see how I'm starting to go in? I'm starting to let they're socially distancing. They're trying to push out as far as they can to the edge of the egg. So I'm going to color these little guys in too. This is a nice one. You could do this in cards. If you have some nice cardstock or some cool paper, you could do them as, I know I have a friend, Katie, at the Bergen Center. She a lot of times likes to do place cards for family events, holidays. Maybe you do that. You can do them on a smaller scale. So see how that's coming along? Now, you could stick to certain color palettes. maybe you only want to work with 3 colors. Maybe they're all different shades of red and pink, or maybe they're different shades of purple from light to dark. Maybe you want to work with red, blue, and purple. I'm going to be adding a whole bunch of different colors. Usually I like things to be in the same color family, but not today. Not today. I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'm going insane. And now I'm going to add like this yellowy orange color. So once again, I guess it's orange. Okay, shows you what I know. And I'm going to do some different shape. Okay, so there you go. See how I'm doing that? I'm slowly filling in the egg shape. Some are getting close to my boundary or my sketch of my egg, and then I'm filling in. So as we do more and more, so maybe I have a couple that I'm going to erase some of those pencil lines so I don't have a problem. Okay, going to get rid of that. So slowly your pencil of your egg disappears. Now some people ask, hey Deborah, how do we color? How do we color? I know this sounds kind of strange of a question, because it might make sense how we color, but when you're working, I don't know if you can see that close up. We're not a printer where it just kind of goes back and forth and it layers perfectly distanced and layered color. Our hands are they're perfectly imperfect. We have varying pressure at certain points. We miss it. We all have different fine motor skills. Most people are a lot more able to do a lot of detail and fine work. So our coloring is going to it's not going to be like a solid, like, it looks like a printed in a book, and that's okay. So some of the tactics or some of the ideas to help with that is you might want to, for your pencil strokes, I guess, like a brush, so your pencil strokes, you might want to keep them always going in the same direction. So for example, I'm going to use a marker for this. I'll use green just to show you. When you're coloring, some people, and this may be the only way you can do it. You may do it like that, right? See how it's very modern art, right? It's all over the place. And that's okay. That's okay. Some of you who might have an issue and you want to fill it in a little bit more consistently, what you might want to do is keep your movement the same. So when you're coloring, we're going up, down, up, down. See? That is a great way. If you have that ability, that is a great way to make sure you get the whole surface. So see how I did that? You could see my marker strokes are all in the same direction. That's a cool way. And then some people, they'll go back the opposite way. You can do that too, to get in extra little space. Okay, so you almost have like a little grid. That's one way to do it. When you're working with circles, I still have cat hair on my nose. What you may want to do, and I'll do it up here. That was pretty good. I can't really see what I'm doing. What we might want to do is we might want to work in the same circular shape. So instead of going back, forth, down, up, all over the place, what we might want to do is just use our pencil, working in the same shape over and over and over again. It's kind of a nice soothing technique. And that will help you fill in. Let's see, I always do the sides whenever I'm coloring, and I yes. So if you're doing that, that's kind of what we're doing here. So when we're filling in our circles, we're making the circle first, and then we're going back and we're going in. So yeah, some people do the sides, meet in the middle. Whatever your method is, it's totally cool. But some people, ask me that. Like, Deborah, you're a pretty good colorer. How do you do that? Because I'm working on the same movement back and forth. It helps with ordering your brain, so to speak. We're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, or around and around. It's just some tips. Just some tips. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. So hopefully you're still working on your egg-shaped tree. All right? So, I didn't color in. I was so busy yapping. So as you can see, I'm doing a back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to use some red. This is, red. Does anybody know why red is one of the primary colors, but I find a true red in a pencil, in a chalk pastel, I always find it really hard to find a true red. I don't know if anybody's had that too. Probably because I'm buying, I'm kind of cheap and I don't buy the really expensive stuff. So that may be my problem. I don't know. Chime in, let me know. So we're just all chilling out. We're having a good day. We're starting our day. I'm going to move on to blue. I want to see nice, by the way, how do you keep your hands so strong for all that artwork? You mean the classes that I've been teaching? Well, I have said this, art is not for the weak. Art is for the mighty. And a lot of us have different hand issues. So one, you have to take care of your hands. Make sure, one, keep them clean, keep them healthy. I've already had, oh no, my nails. But I think I just build up through time. I do a lot of stuff with my hands, and believe it or not, I know I look too young. I have a little bit of arthritis, so a little bit in my joints. Is that rheumatoid or is it osteo? Osteo. Not, I don't have rheumatoid arthritis. So a little bit of my joints are getting a little tight. So I just kind of keep working. I knit, I crochet. So my hands are always being used. So, but maybe treat yourself to a hot cup of tea. Give yourself a little hand massage. Do something like that. It's just what we do. It's what us artists do. Okay? I'm going to make some more, and I'm just going to show you. Kind of looks like little, petri dishes. Petri dishes, all right? We got a couple of late people. This is what we're working on. We're making a simple spring tree, working within our egg shape. We're working with circles. So today we're really focusing, this week, earlier in the week, we focused on, or was that last week? I've lost track of time and space. Geometric shapes with our rulers. Today, we're just working a little bit more freehand with our shapes. So you have your colored pencils, your paper. So see how I'm adding that in? And maybe I'll add one more color. No, I already did. Maybe I'll add another green or something like that. So I want you to really fill this in. You could fill them, you could overlap them. You could definitely do that. So I'm getting ready. I'm gonna finish my circles and I'm gonna show you the next step. All right? Oh, maybe I'll add a little bit more here. Okay. Take a step back. So here you go. As you can look back, as I pull back, if you don't see the shape of your egg taking effect, this kind of shape, step back. Yeah, I start to see it. I start to see that I have more here, fewer on the top. Some of them you might not be able to see. Maybe I'll just do a little small one up there to really send that point home. Okay? Now, so there we are. There's my egg. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to delete the computer. We're going to erase our pencil that we gave our shape. Our pencil sketching, okay? We want to keep the color. Okay, hold on. So I'm taking my eraser And I'm erasing the lead pencil line. See the difference? I don't want to see that line. You could leave it. You could leave it if you like it. You totally can. You could trace it in marker. You could do whatever you want. It's fine with me. I'm not going to be angry. It's up to you. This is just one suggested way to do this. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. That's why it's good to, all right. I think that's pretty good for our purposes. So now you can see, now I took away, remember we had our shape and we traced it in pencil, and that's why we did it light, so we can erase it, and now we have our basic shape, all right? How's everybody doing? Give me a shout out if I missed you. If I haven't shouted out your name and you signed in, or you're secretly watching, let me know. Let me know, because I know we had Jamie, we had Kara, I think we had Katie, we had Caitlin, I think we had Alex for a while as well, if I recall, from one of my first peeps. So we got different people here. So cool. Or if you're watching it afterwards, chime in. Give us, let us know you were here. So here we go. Here is all the circles that we did. Now we're going to move on, okay, to add the tree element, the trunk. So this, do not get scared. You can make them thick, you can make them thin. I'm going to make them thin because think thin thoughts. Okay, so you have your water to clean your brush, and you're going to get a brush. If you're doing a thick line, I know some people, I know Caitlin does Chinese calligraphy. Some people, especially a lot of certain types of Asian calligraphy, they're beautiful, right? And they use the brush. That's kind of the flow you're going to get. You're going to be making these lines. So if I might have an egg tray somewhere in my studio, go get it. If you want to trace the egg shape, that'll give you more confidence in your outline to fill it in. So if you're making big lines, big brush strokes, excuse me, allergies. You can use a big brush. So if you're working on a big scale, your brush, the size of your brush, this is a flat, I don't know if you could see that. It's a flat brush. This is a round, I'm not pointing at you, but it's a thin brush. So I'm going to work thin because I want some thin lines, and I'm going to go up. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to wing it. If you're a nervous Nelly, which is okay, and you want to try to trace out your tree line with a pencil first, go for it. You can do that. That's one way to do it, and then you can paint on top of it. I want to get loosey-goosey. I want to go for it. I trust myself. Okay? So you're going to not put your hand in the paint. You're going to use, you can use black paint. I'm using craft paint. You can, if you have acrylic paint, you can use that. But these are all water-based paints. All right? That's why I said don't necessarily use crayons, because it's a water-based paint. It might not necessarily go over it as smoothly. So I'm going to use black. You can use brown if you think the black is too dark. You can use brown. This is the trunk of your tree. So with my brush, okay, I'm going to draw, the first thing I'm going to do is to draw this one big line. This one big line. It's like a big line. So I'm going to come not outside, not completely outside. I'm going to run along the edge, but maybe over some of those circles. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to make a groovy, funky line. So I'm going to start, and maybe I'm going to come like that. See how I did that? See how I did that? Making kind of like my wine glass shape. I just kind of came from the top and went there. It's okay if you don't have a full perfect line all the way down. That's a little tough because my paint runs out. I'm going to pick up where it went, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to make a curve. See how I did that? I picked it up and then I came down and it came out like the roots of a tree. See how I did that? I started somewhere on the top, came down, and then went like that. Okay? It's whatever you want. If you want more of a straight line, and you could take your brush and you can just kind of go over and just fix your lines a little bit. All right? That's one. That's one line. This is the easy peasy part. Okay? Then we're going to do the next line, and it's going to be like a little half moon, like a C, right? Like a half moon. That's all it's going to be. So coming from the base of your tree, it could be anywhere, but we want to give it this nice kind of cup effect, making the bottom of the egg. We're going to come up like that. So we're going to go, you could do it curved or like that. So what I did was I came in from where it starts to dip at the bottom, and I just made like a little half moon, a crescent. See how I did that? Boop. Just like that. Just like that. That's all you need to do. Okay? And I'm going to go back over it just a bit. That's usually where I get into trouble, when I try to fix something. Okay? Just like that. So we've got kind of this, looks like a wine glass, right? Some of the circles might be on the outside, or like a little bit, and that's cool. We like that. I like how they're on both sides. That's why we're painting on top of it. Now, you're going to do the branches in the middle. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to do a top one. And I'm gonna do kind of a wiggly line. See how I did that? I came in and I just went up and out a little bit. Came to the edge, went up and out. From the edge, this is your branch. Okay, that's your trunk. That's your branch growing up. And then this is a little branch coming out of that. See how we did that? Just in there. This is really, an abstract, modern approach. Okay, doesn't have to look perfectly like a tree. And maybe I want another little branch coming out from there. Little branch coming out. So I'm just going to do another little one. Another little squiggle. Just kind of coming from that branch. Kind of coming out. Just a little bit. Just a little branch. Okay? Let's add a few more branches. Let's go to the other side. Well, you know what? I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to work here. All right? On this one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make another branch that comes out. See how I did that? I just made another line. It's not a perfectly straight. If you want straight lines, that's totally fine. Mine have a little bit of a curve to them. Just a little bit. Because that's the way nature works. Nothing is perfectly straight. No, it's just the way it is. And maybe I'll add another little branch coming down like that. See how I did that? So now I have two branches coming out of this big branch. I just went across and down. Now let's go to our other branch. Let's do, I'm going to do a long one coming out of here from the top. So I'm going to do coming up from the middle, because I have some dead space here. I have some open space. So I'm going to add a little bit. So I came from there and I just went up. And usually tree branches, if you're looking at direction, we don't want them really going necessarily all down. We want them on a whole moving up. Trees grow up to the sun. So you can have a few kind of hanging low, but overall, most of your branches are going to be coming up. But that's up to you. Some of mine are turning. And I think I'm going to add another one. There we go. There's some of my branches. You could add other little branches on your branches. You can. Maybe I'll add one here. Right? See? You can just, you can add little ones here, there, whatever. Okay? That is the foundation of your tree. Pretty cool, huh? You didn't know you could do that. I did. It's beautiful, Karen Cheryl. I see a cracked glass with champagne bubbles coming out. Absolutely. You could do this for New Year's too. It definitely looks like a champagne glass or a wine glass. You could totally do this for a New Year's project. Very cool. Absolutely. Now, for the bottom of our tree, we're gonna, I think this tree wouldn't be very stable. So we want, and I'm a big symmetry person. What I do on one side should kind of match the other. So we're gonna add a line to the bottom of our tree. So I recommend that. So it's like a kickstand for your tree. So coming in from, we're going to come in from the center, maybe when it starts to branch out, and we're just going to do a line there. Okay? I'm not that good. Let me see if I can do it while it's here. And I'm just going to kind of go like that. See how I did that? It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go back because I made a little boo-boo. Okay, and filling in. If you have calligraphy ink, and I just got some stuff up here. So you can do that too. So there is our tree, our spring tree. That's all there is to it. That's all there is. That's it. Now, you could leave it as plain as this, but some little extras that you might want to do. Ooh, that was weird. You can use maybe some green. Let's say, Deborah, this looks so sad and depressing. You could add more roots if you like to it. You absolutely could. But if you think that you like this shape and you want to add a little bit, you could do it as a border. I love a Q-tip because, one, I don't have to clean it. And I can just throw it away when I'm done. Don't use them for years. Use them for crafts. I use a little bit of green paint. So I'm going to dip it into my green paint. I have a light and like a medium, but you might want to use a light and a dark, or if you only have one. And I'm just going to kind of come in and do some little dots. That's if you want to. So we're working with the same shape. So it's kind of like grass. See how I'm working on that? See how I'm working on it? It's up to you. You don't have to if you like the simplicity of it. You can just do that. And then I just put it to the other side and I just get the other kind of, it kind of looks pretty. It kind of looks like pollen falling from the sky and stuff like that. Wait a minute. Did somebody release the Kraken? Let's take a, let's take a review. Hello. Here, you could get a stool. Just be careful of all the wires. Get a stool, and we're going to ask you what you think of our project before we sign it. Cool. You got to work on your script, dude. I know. So here's Simon. You got to see Curdy and Simon. Here's Simon. Pull in. Come in closer. Come closer. So we are going to ask Simon. Just ignore my little things. Simon, what do you think of our spring tree?
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah? Can you tell what shape? What does it look like to you?
It looks like a broken cotton candy machine.
A broken cotton candy machine?
Gumball machine.
Broken gumball machine. That's a great idea. This can keep your guests for hours saying, what the heck is that?
Or a broken wine glass.
A broken wine glass. We all thought that. It's probably because we've all been trapped indoors for about 2 weeks or with each other. It has the shape of, it's a tree, and it is in the shape, our circles are contained within an abstract egg shape.
Oh, cool.
Bet you didn't know that. But now you do. So, today's art project, running to a store near you, you can get this lovely, like I said, you don't have to do the bottom, let it dry. You can make thousands of these. All you need is your paper, your pencils, your colored pencils, a regular pencil, a little bit of black paint, a brush, and some water, and you're good to go. So I gave you, our time is up. I gave you a simple project, not simple, but something that's doable that you can do with family and friends. You could do it on a big piece of poster board and maybe get everybody in there, or everybody from your family, adding different circles, and you can fill it in as much as possible or make them more spaced out. It's up to you. Make it a group project, make it a collaborative project, or do it on your own. So for this week, we did our puppets. We had our wine glass, our spring tree. We did our rainbow project. So I want you should have some stuff to keep you busy throughout the day, throughout the weekend. I'll be back for lunch bunch if people want me to come back. And we'll finish out this week with Tony music at 2:30. All right? So thank you all for joining us.
Date?
I have no idea.
I mean, what's today?
Today is Friday, March 27th.
But I thought it was still Wednesday.
That's what we're all thinking. I wish it was. Well, no, I don't know.
It was.
I'm late with the homework assignment, so don't tell my teacher. But we want to wish you all a great day and have a wonderful weekend. Get out there, look at the trees, look at the buds.
And still a happy new year, because it is a new year, technically.
It's the spring. I don't know, but I don't know.
It's still technically a new year.
Every day is a new beginning. How about that? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Right? Every day is a new beginning. So make the most of it. We're together, even though we're a little apart. And welcome to my craft room. This is probably where we'll be doing art.
And where the bodies were buried.
Well, you missed that part because you were sleeping. And have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.